Hey Annie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Danish, good. How's everything? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Great. Thank you for jumping in. People are
I'm
just
sorry.
connecting. Wait, we can't hear you. What'd you say?
I said I'm sorry I'm late. I'm very technologically backwards.
No problem. No problem. Just only a couple minutes, so people take time to jump in. But due to time, we'll actually just get started, and we'll always have this recording so people can watch it back. Hey everyone, my name is Kidist Tesfaye. I'm the CEO and founder of YeneHealth. As you know, we do these monthly spotlight series, IG Lives, to showcase organizations and people doing work around SRH and family planning. As YeneHealth, we're an early stage startup that focuses on women's SRH and family planning services in Ethiopia, leveraging technology to give access to women across the country and across the continent. Throughout this process, we realized it's so important to work with other organizations in this space. And today we're lucky enough to have our very own guest with us, Dr. Asnaketch, and I'll kind of let her introduce herself as well. But thank you so much for being with us as well. Before we jump into the conversation, Annie, can you please just give us a quick intro about who you are, what your background is, and your organization as well, and then we can jump into questions.
Okay. Hi. My name is Asnaketch. People call me Annie. That's why this is calling me Annie. Close people call me Annie. I am a mother of two toddlers, and I'm also a general physician. And so I started this company called Guya that we're going to talk about today. And it's essentially a company for first-time expectant couples and first-time parents, where they can come and learn about any and everything concerning pregnancy and newborn care as well. So the name Guya, Bamarinya, it means a safe haven where when a child is scared, they run into ya, not Guya Ibaran. So that's what I wanted this platform to be, a place where when you first find out that you're pregnant, you are scared out of your mind. You have all these questions running through your mind. Nah, this is a place where I want you to come, feel safe enough to ask any questions and have it answered. And then you feel knowledgeable and empowered on the journey that's ahead of you. So that's Guya.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, Nirasu. I was so excited to see Guya. I was telling you about Leforasu when I first heard about your organization. And I was like, this is so awesome to have right here, grassroots level Lay Misera available to women, because I've never seen an organization that does that. So definitely kudos to you for really making this possible. And I look forward to seeing the journey of it as well. You mentioned a little bit about, you're a mother yourself, you're a healthcare professional as well. But as from the inception phase of Guya all the way to where it's at now, can you just talk about a little bit about the challenges and how it's evolved into what it is, and kind of your long-term vision for it as well? Like, what do you hope to get out of this organization, and where do you see it going?
Okay, so initially, how Guya came about is when I was pregnant with my first kid. Obviously, I'm a health professional, so to me, it's not as big of a deal. But to my husband, who's not in this field, he was scared. So we delivered our firstborn in the US. So we took the class with Lamaze, and not. I saw the change in him where he was like more confident after that class. He's like, "Oh yeah, I got this. I can do this," and I got. And then I came back. We returned back here to Ethiopia, and then I realized Indezent Nagari for our society, for our women. And I remember, even as a health professional, all the questions that were running through my mind about how to take care of a baby, like the things that you don't learn about in a medical textbook. So, and there are a lot of things that are passed on, like old wives' tales from generation to generation. And some of them are helpful, like we have very wise ancestors, but some of them, they can be misleading or wrong. So then I thought, oh, why don't I create this space for Ethiopian women and their partners, where they can get scientific-based information about their pregnancy and about how to take care of their baby, and while they have their support from their mothers, their grandmothers, their aunts, whoever is in their life. So then Guya was born, and since it's the first of its kind, this thing is not al-talabadam in Ethiopia. And a lot of people don't even know that it exists. So my first and still challenge is trying to create the awareness, like telling people, oh, this thing exists. So most people get their information from their OBs. And now with the OB demo, if you've ever been to one, like the doctor has like 20, 30 patients sitting outside. So he's just trying to go like, ndazi. So you might not have enough time and you might not feel comfortable enough to talk about as we say. So then a service Allah, in addition to your OB, we're on our brand, creating the brand awareness. I've had a couple of clients and they're so grateful and changed from taking the course. So right now, I guess my challenge would be where everyone knows about it. Because right now we're just doing the social media awareness and not a lot of people have use the Instagram and Facebook and stuff. So we're trying to create awareness through like mass media, like TV, radio, billboards and stuff. So that's the challenge we're facing. And my hope is that it becomes a norm for any first-time pregnant mom with her partner, and for like first-time parents. This should be like a basic thing that you do, like your ANC care. This is something that prepares you for the parenthood. And not so I want it to be available not even just in Addis Ababa, but outside of Addis Ababa, like regional cities, and then to the rural community. And right now it's you pay to take this class. So my hope is to partner with the Ministry of Health so that we can go to local health centers, and we can host let them know ahead of time, all the pregnant women, but we will be here, so you can come with all of your questions, and then we can have like a free session for whoever wants to come, like with no cap on the number of people we can have and with no payment. So like every mother should have access to this. That's the long-term vision.
As it's such a new concept in Ethiopia, and I'm sure, before this generation came, mothers and first-time families have used other, traditional ways to kind of teach and learn about these things. How have you, where do you find yourself in terms of how have you been able to bring something so new in this way, but also being in Ethiopia, like mix that kind of tradition and culture and present that in a way that you do?
So right now, in our in one of the courses that's called Prepared Childbirth, we have myth versus fact, where we debunk like old wives' tales that are passed on. So that's where we address some of the most common misconceptions and some of the traditional methods that we use. I would, if it's accurate, link it, explain it through the science and why it works. So like the one thing that in the rural areas, most moms and grandmas earnestly tell their first-time mom when she's breastfeeding to discard the colostrum. So the colostrum, for those of you who don't know, is the first part of the breast milk that's expressed, and it's yellow in color. And this milk is full of antibodies, and it's even referred as the golden milk in the US, in the western parts of the world. But Isyagar, because it's yellow and we associate something discolored with koshasha, they say, oh, discard that part, and then when the white milk comes in, feed your baby that. So that's one harmful thing that I've always mentioned whenever I'm talking to anyone. Do not do this, please. The other thing that most women pass down from generation to generation, which is helpful but is falsely explained, is talba tatu ibalan. So talba is flaxseed, and not most moms say it's good to clean out the koshasha in the uterus, and that's not the reason that it helps. It's because it helps your the colon, your digestive system, like it expedites the movement so that you have soft bowel movements. And for any mother who has given birth after delivering vaginally knows that first stool that you pass is like, oh my gosh. So that flaxseed really helps. So like eating a lot of fibers, taking fiber supplements if you can, and then taking the flaxseed. So that helps to soften your stool so that it's easier. Like we try to correlate the Ethiopian traditional things that are passed on with the science.
Yeah, no, that's really great. I mean, I didn't even know some of these things. So that's definitely interesting, especially when you're actually experiencing it. I'm sure a lot of people can relate. And I really love how you are kind of combining, old myths that we do oftentimes hear in this context, and also, bring the science into it and give women a chance, and the families and the husband as well, a chance to experience and understand the reasoning behind some, the good and the bad as well. In terms of, I guess, to go to the next part of it, regarding to your exact services that you give, how does that actually look? What kind of services do you give to, first-time parents? And what have you seen, in terms of positive things that other organizations or institutions are doing across the healthcare sector that's helping first-time parents prepare? And what are things that you feel like, from your experience, that needs a lot more support and improvement from kind of the clients that you've had?
Okay, so Guya right now offers 7 services. The four of the services are classes. So the first class is called Prepared Childbirth, and this is for the first time expectant couples. And it teaches them about during pregnancy, the red flags that you need to be on the lookout for, like women have been, you immediately need to go to the hospital. How do you differentiate true labor from false labor? And then the most importantly, how do you manage labor pain, whether it be naturally or medically? So your different options, we present to you, and we practice. And this is the reason why I always want it to be partnered. So your partner has to be present with you throughout the class, and because during this section of the class, the labor pain management, we'll be doing like practical sessions. So we will be practicing the different things that he can do to help you manage your pain. So then after that, we cover what happens during the day of delivery, so you're not shocked, and what are the things that the doctors would most probably do on the day of delivery if you're not able to deliver normally, vaginally. So that the whole premise of Guya is we give you all of the information, the tools that you need so that you can make informed decisions. So that when you have this information, you can break the cycle of the fear, which feeds into anxiety, which feeds into pain. So we're trying to lessen your anxiety by giving you information. So when you learn about what you can expect during that day, you're able to lessen your anxiety, which would help you lessen your labor pain. And then after that, we cover a little bit about how mommy can take care of herself after delivering baby. So this is the Prepared Childbirth. This is a comprehensive course designed for both the father-to-be and the mom-to-be. And then we offer a newborn care class. How do you take care of your anything, starting from how to change a diaper, how to feed, what of the different feeding options you have, how to store your milk, how to soothe a fussy baby, how to hold a baby, how to burp him, everything baby we cover in the newborn care. And then the third class would be breast milk. So we cover about how breast milk is different from formula milk. How do you increase your breast milk supply? How to store your breast milk, and the different positions that you can use depending on how you delivered. So we covered that. And then the fourth one is infant CPR and first aid, which I think we need a lot of work on. And this is open to not just any caregiver. So the nannies, the grandparents, the aunties, the uncles. So this is open to everyone. So whatever happens, you don't know what happens throughout your day. If something bad were to happen, what do you do before you get to a hospital to prevent or lessen complications? So those are the 4 classes. The 3 services is nutrition during pregnancy, prenatal yoga. That's what we are offering at the moment. In terms of the different services available in Ethiopia, like I mentioned, we're the first one addressing this, and they're as far as I know, best of my knowledge, I haven't heard of any organizations or NGOs, any services that is addressing first-time parents and expectant couples. So there's a lot to be done. and
Yeah.
especially creating the awareness, and that um, in letting the people know that this service is available to. This is an untapped market, so
Yeah.
please come and fix it. Help us fix it.
No, that's definitely, I mean, I definitely will say, like, even at YeneHealth, we're still a startup, we're starting out in this work. And, as you said, like being the first in something so innovative and kind of new to a new market, new user demographics, it's always super hard, just penetrating and getting people to understand what you're doing and see what you're doing and kind of buy into it. So definitely see that. But, I mean, throughout the journey, just as a startup itself, it's so difficult, right? I think we were talking about a phone. It's difficult, from getting your first group of people that will use your product, but also getting support through different stakeholders and so on. But I'm sure, I think something that keeps us going at YeneHealth also is like, we see what our work has the potential to do in terms of impact. Like one thing that we do, or two things that we do through our platform offers women, a chance to self-manage and control their health and so on. So I think there's experiences that we have that kind of, it reminds you what your why was and why you're doing the work that you do. While all these obstacles exist. And I think for you, I would love to hear about, what are some high points that you've kind of experienced, whether it's like working with a client, something that has come up, or client testimonies or feedback that you received, or just something within yourself that you just saw as a reflection, and also as a healthcare professional yourself. What are high points you've had that really help you keep pushing and, doing this work?
It's exactly what you said, the why. So I know, like I said, how the amount of anxiety I had about labor pain, specifically because back then epidurals weren't offered in Ethiopia. So I was like, oh my goodness, how am I going to manage the pain? And you hear all these horror stories about the pain that you're going to be experiencing. So the anxiety that I had, and also that my husband at the time, with our firstborn, that he had no clue about how to take care of a baby, how to take care of me after delivering. So the I saw in him after taking that class, the confidence, and how much also the confidence I had in managing my labor pain after the course is what kept me going. But then the cherry on top is my clients. So far, I've had 4 and feedback afterwards. It's anonymous, so they don't even have to, like, just to make me feel better, say, oh yeah, it was awesome, but they write it down at the end of the class. And so they were genuinely happy and grateful, and had their questions answered, and felt somewhat comfortable, with what was coming for them. So, and then they would tell people, and that's how I got these people, is through their recommendations. They were like, oh, this is such an awesome class, you have to take it. And then people called me. So that's my fuel to keep going.
I think
As soon as they take it. So now my problem is trying to make the people believe ahead of time that, trust me, you're going to benefit from this class. Just take it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, and it's word of mouth is so powerful here. So I think as you have more clients and you kind of more couples see the benefits of it, I'm sure it'll definitely keep growing and so on. And I definitely can't wait to see that journey. And, as you said, being in the health space, healthcare space in general, there's so many players, right? There's so many players that have different roles in it. And I think Guya has a very important role in different ways. How do you see Guya? I mean, how do you see Guya's role in the broader ecosystem of healthcare, and how do you think it's impacting people's lives or the healthcare system at the macro level?
So, hopefully, if and when we do scale to that level, we would be a support system for the OBGYNs. Because, like I said, they have so many clients and they don't have enough time to go through all of these questions and it's similar question. Like, every pregnant couple has the same questions. So if they take this course, it's a way to lessen the load for the OBGYNs and the midwives. And on the day, it would also, when you're worried and you're scared, you become people handle it differently. So I've experienced like belligerent clients, patients, like attendants to my patients. And then some of them are just quiet and don't self-advocate. So then there will be complications. So when you take this course, you're prepared, you know what to expect on, even on the day. So it will somewhat alleviate the pressure off of the healthcare institutes, like the midwives, the nurses, and the doctors. So I feel like we will be like and like a support system to the health professionals in
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, definitely. I can definitely see what, the amount of work you guys will definitely take off from the burden that they have. Even with us, I mean, we look forward to partnering with you in many ways. We definitely want to support women all the way up until their pregnancy and birth. So I think there's so much synergy that
Yeah.
that I look forward to building with you and your team. I guess I mean, I know you mentioned earlier, being the first, there aren't really any other organizations here that are doing that work. Maybe are there any other African-based companies or organizations that you like look up to or are inspired by that kind of like do this the right way that you align with?
To be quite honest, I haven't researched if there are African companies that do this, but our philosophy is based on the Lamaze philosophy. So there are two different types of uh, uh, labor teachings, and it's the Lamaze and the Bradley approach. The Bradley approach doesn't support medicine, like taking synthetic medications, but the
Yeah.
Lamaze approach is, I'll tell you all your options, I'll give you A, B, C, D, and then you can make an informed decision based on what will work for you and what you believe in. So that's what we follow. So the organization that I admire, respect, look up to would be Lamaze International.
That's awesome. No, that's really great to hear. I think there's just so much awareness that even like within our society that we need here and in many places, as young people as well. So I'm happy to see that it's really coming from a framework that's been proven and practiced for so long. Just a couple more questions and then we'll see if there's any questions or we'll wrap it up. But in terms of, advice, at the end of the day, at YeneHealth, we really also want to give women the chance to have self-agency. And I think that's one thing that we align on with Guya as well, is really empowering women to self-manage, self-control, and really understand their health. So, there are women right now that could be listening or couples, but they may not be empowered or want to, they may not think that this is something for them and maybe missing out. So what are, suggestions or advice that you have to empower women to take an active role in like this part of their decision-making, across the health journey of them being pregnant through birth? Any kind of advice to kind of help them start the journey?
I feel like our generation is slightly better than our parents' generations in where women are more empowered. And so, but for some reason, Ethiopia, we're still like, how we like to follow slowly. So I want to tell women that you're in charge of your body, not your husband, not your doctor, not your father, no one else but you. And you know what's best for you. You know what's happening inside, and you might not even be able to verbalize it. So for you to, it's being a mother is a life-altering experience. So for you to have all the necessary support during this time and the knowledge so that you are confident when you make a decision, all of those male figures and even like your moms and your aunties and your grandmas won't be able to overpower you. So I would encourage all women to take these classes, or even read online. Just make sure that it's a reliable source of information so that you can feel empowered and confident in the decisions that you're going to be making, because it's about you and your baby. So no one else other than your partner should be able to have a say in how you raise your baby and how you deliver the different options that are available to you. So but in order to do that, you have to be educated. You have to have the proper knowledge. So please acquire that knowledge so you can be a self-advocate and an advocate to your child.
No, I definitely second everything you said. Yeah, right on it. In festival, we've been speaking English the whole time, and I forget that like you and I both speak Amarinya, and I think a lot of the people here definitely wouldn't. Again, በአማርኛም ክላሳቸው እንግሊዝኛ አይደለም አማርኛም አላችሁ አይደል? Your classes,
Uh,
your services.
so the PowerPoint, no, the PowerPoint is in English. Good when I'm like, I don't know, teaching, I would mix. Obviously, I would ask, see, Jamal, are you comfortable with the mode of English, like teaching? Because medicine and metamarno is in English. So, Guya, all the information I'm giving you is experience based and science.
Exactly.
So that's why the PowerPoints are in English. But then when I explain, I can do it either in Amarinya or in English, whichever is comfortable for the clients.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really great to hear. And I think there's a question about, is this only for first-time parents, or is it also for second, third-time parents that want to strengthen their parenthood skills or parenting skills?
It's open to any and everyone, especially the infant CPR and first aid. You don't need to be a first-time parent for that. But the prepared childbirth, what you experience during pregnancy, what you during pregnancy, how to eat, what are the red signs, or the red flags, the labor, how do you differentiate? Most the second, the third, fourth time moms know that, so it might not be as relevant. But if you feel like there's things that you would like to strengthen, or that you're lacking, even in the newborn care or in the breastfeeding, you are more than welcome. Everyone is welcome.
That's great to hear. Lastly, we've talked about the great work and mission that you guys have at Guya and what kind of services you offer. How can people get in touch with you? How can they book an appointment? And where are you located for these kind of sessions? Do you travel and go to anywhere they need? How can people, get your services?
So we have a website, www.myguya.com. All of our social media, like Instagram, Facebook, talk is my_Guya, so they can through those or through the website, or my phone number is on the website and on our social media. If you're on Telegram, we have a Telegram group, Guya. And in terms of the classes, have different locations depending on the client's area of residence. So whichever is closest to them, especially if they're a breastfeeding mom, usually I would have to go to their house because it's difficult to travel with a newborn baby. But the prepared childbirth is around Bole area.
Awesome. Great. And we'll also actually take all of your links and drop it in the caption so people can check out your website and reach out to you through your messaging, inboxing. I think even I've learned a bunch of new things as well just from talking to you today. I think there's so much that we can continue to share, and thank you for doing the work that you do. Thank you everyone for listening. Again, we do these spotlight series every end of the month on Fridays, the last Friday of the month, to again give a platform for other organizations like-minded like ourselves that focus on sexual and reproductive health and maternal health as well. So if you have any other recommendations on other folks that you want to talk to, that you want us to talk to or to spotlight, please inbox us and let us know. And thank you for tuning in. And I think we can wrap it up here, and have a great day, Ani, and I'll see you soon, hopefully. Bye. Ciao.